Welcome, friends. A brief study on Repertorium Homoeopathicum Syntheticum, also known as Synthesis Repertory. Through this video lecture is an attempt to show its evolution and unique features by which we can easily overcome our present day-to-day problem in clinical practice and thus utilize the same. For the sake of discussion, we are going to fragment whole topic into author's detail, evolution and additions, philosophical background, plan and construction, typology, gradations, number of medicines, cross-reference, some special features, limitation, adaptability, and some rubrics. Let's begin the journey with author's detail. Dr. Frederik Schroyens was born in January 12, 1953 in Messel, Belgium. Schroyens is a 1977 medical graduate of the State University of Ghent, Belgium, and a 1978 graduate of one-year homeopathic training course at Faculty of Homeopathy in London. Dr. Schroyens was one of the first radar users in 1986 and became enthusiastic about the increasing possibilities computer science offers to homeopathy. Because of his dedication to this program, he became the homeopathic coordinator of the radar project. Next point is evolution and additions. From Greek word synthei means to put together, first known use in 1589. Synthesis is nothing but the ongoing process of collection and compilation of symptoms converted into rubrics with corresponding medicines and their gradations from various sources. Synthesis is the product of continuous teamwork with superb technology. It is the printed version of radar computer program. This repertory has set a new standard by adding many informations and continuous verification by its users. It is the latest among all repertories. Synthesis Repertory is based on 6th American edition of Kent's Repertory and contain all its rubric and remedies, maintaining its philosophical background also. The Synthesis Repertory linked to Radar project. The radar was first developed as a research project at University of Namur, Belgium, under the supervision of Jean Ficheft. He was the professor of mathematics in the Department of Computer Science at the same university. He became interested in homeopathy after the miraculous cure of his son by homeopathic medicines. Dr. Frederik Schroyens became the homeopathy coordinator for the radar project. He had outlined a request for collaboration in the year 1986. Dr. Frederik Schroyens and his team sent charter to all leading homeopaths who were concerned with evolution of homeopathy through the software version. Since 1987, Synthesis is used as a database software program such that radar in daily practice of leading homeopaths. Different versions includes version first in 1987. Synthesis was used as a database for radar project and latest is Synthesis 9.1 in June 2004. Synthesis Treasure Edition was released as a software in English and German on February 2007. Moving ahead is a philosophical background. It is based on 6th American edition of Kent's Repertory and contains all its rubric and remedies. Therefore, this repertory maintains the philosophy of Kent, such that concept of individualization through evaluation of symptoms. Evaluation of symptoms following deductive logic, gradation of medicine and its basis, cross-reference, etc. It retains the hierarchical structure and therefore there is no need to learn a new format. Now let's discuss plan and construction of repertory. Arrangement of different chapters like that of Kent's repertory such that chapters based on anatomical division with certain exceptions which are first section is on mind and the last one on generalities. Discharge, example stool, sweat, expectorations, urine appears as a separate sections next to anatomical region producing them. Certain general conditions such as vertigo, cough, sleep, chill and fever appears also as a separate section. Dream being a new chapter. This repertory is divided into 38 chapters. General arrangement of rubrics in each chapters are like that of Kent repertory. Under each section, rubrics run in alphabetical order and symptoms are divided into groups, and these groups are always following each other the same order. Site, time, modalities, extension, localization, descriptions of pain, and other descriptions. This order of group is repeated at each level if needed. We can expect a hierarchical structure like this at several levels: site, time, modality, and extensions. Next point is gradation of medicines. Synthesis repertory has four gradations of medicines. Bold capital is a 4 mark with first grade. Bold small is 3 mark with 2 grade. Italics is 2 mark with 3 grade, and ordinary Roman is 1 mark with 4 grade. Total number of medicines in Synthesis 9.1 version is latest one and contains 2373 remedies. Cross reference are mentioned where and there required asides to main rubric. Some special features of synthesis includes addition after repeated checking. Synthesis contains repeatedly checked additions from standard homeopathic literature, including Dr. Hahnemann, Kent, Herring, Allen, Borick, Nair, etc. Addition from other living authorities have been included only after proper verifications. Correction of Kent's repertory. This correction is recognized by indicating K. Example: delusion. Starve he must calichlor is corrected to delusion. Starve he must calimure. Here corrected source is Herring's guiding symptom of our materia medica. In this way, thousands of corrections have been made. Symptoms are rewritten in clearly readable format. Many symptoms are rewritten in proper readable symptom format. For better comprehensive at each level, the word follow each other in a normal order, or the symptom is split with indicating sign to show a place from which one should start reading. Example: peace is sensation as if head would fall in when stooping. It is correctly written as pieces on stooping, sensation as if head would fall in. Combined modalities are applied throughout the synthesis, such as aggravation from cold wet weather. It would be searched as weather cold wet, but never under cold damp weather and damp cold weather. Clarification of ambiguous words. Ambiguous words have been clarified where is necessary. For example, breast have been replaced by meme or chest, and storm by stormy weather or thunderstorm. Creation of some rubrics. Some rubrics, more important and useful rubrics, are created so that more appropriateness of meaning of symptom can be achieved, such as periodicity, children, etc. Revision of language. Correction of some 19th century spelling have been corrected by modern American English spelling, like ANAEMIA is replaced with ANEMIA anemia. DIARRHOEA is replaced with DIARRORRHEA diarrhea. Symptoms. Ailments from to rubric ailments from. All symptoms with ailments from have been grouped in separate subrubric under the rubric ailments from. Rubric food and drink. Aversion, desire, aggravation, amelioration related to food are placed under rubric food and drink in the chapter generals. Several clinical rubrics are renamed. Clinical conditions are renamed according to modern disease name. For example, hay fever for coryza annule, decubitus for skin becomes sore. Dream chapter. All dreams are presented in a separate chapter, dream, following the chapter sleep. Merge rubrics. Similar rubrics are merged into one, such as nose obstruction alternating sides. It is corrected into nose obstruction one side alternately. Use of leading words. Leading words have been placed in front of each level and alphabetical sorting were corrected accordingly. Example, in bed become bed in and as if frozen become frozen as if, etc. Formation of complete and clear symptoms. Insufficiently clear symptoms become much more completed on the basis of knowledge of materia medica. Example, cough, sulfur fumes or vapor sensation of aggravation becomes cough, sulfur fumes or vapor cough, aggravation by sensation of. Standard list of remedy abbreviations. Many new remedies have been added, all abbreviation of following the same rule used by the Kent. Index of important changes and corrections. When it was not possible to indicate the change, the correction was mentioned in the index of important changes and corrections, which can be found in the end of the repertory. Limitations. So far, no drawbacks is noted as this repertory is constantly being updating and correcting the materials except about the reliability of new edition of living authors. Adaptability of the synthesis repertory includes case reach in general and characteristic particular. A case having only characteristic particular too can be repertorized by using this repertory. Let's review some rubrics from synthesis repertory. In Kent's repertory, there are 245 rubrics in generals, where in synthesis it is 780. A few exclusive rubrics are such as rubrics on pathological conditions or clinical conditions, like of acetonemia, acidosis, acromegaly, adrenal failure, Alzheimer's disease, amoebiasis, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, atherosclerosis, Down syndrome, leukemia, Parkinson's disease, poliomyelitis, polycythemia, tuberculosis, varicose vein, etc. Rubrics of poisoning or abuse of, like aluminium, arsenicum, mercury, chemotherapy, etc. Psychotic drugs, quinine, radium therapy, X-ray burn, and rubric on laboratory finding includes erythrocytes decreased, leukocytes decreased or increased, platelet decreased, sperm count low, etc. Rubrics on vaccination after, like diphtheria, DPT, meningitis, neurological complaints. Prophylaxis includes rabies, etc. Rubrics on children, complaints, delicate, puny, sickly, teenagers, etc. Rubrics on family history of asthma, cancer, diabetes mellitus, eczema, gonorrhea, insanity, suicidal death, tuberculosis, etc. Rubrics on personal history includes abortion, antibiotic use of, abscess recurrent of, birth trauma of, bite of animal, gonorrhea, etc. Hope this information proves adds on to your knowledge. Thank you. See you soon.